Hello kiddos of class 6. Welcome back to Mathman videos. The topic of today's video lecture is from the third unit, which is titled as What Can $1.11 Do? Well, it's a story of an innocent and brave 8-year-old girl named Tess. Tess comes from a very poor family. She also has a little brother, Andrew, who has been suffering from a serious disease, and he needs an immediate surgery, but her parents cannot afford for it. But the little girl manages to win the heart of a doctor with her honesty and immense love. Let us see how she manages to do that. Let us read the story. An 8-year-old child, Tess, heard her parents talking about her little brother Andrew. All she knew was that Andrew was very sick and her parents did not have enough money for the treatment. Like I said, Tess hears her parents' conversation who were discussing about the health of her little brother Andrew. Because of the fact that the family was poor, they could not afford for his treatment. They were moving into a smaller house because they could not afford to stay in the present house after paying the doctor's bills. He needed a costly surgery now, and there was no one to loan them the money. So her parents lost their hope and gave up their efforts. She also hears that the family is about to shift to another house because they had already spent their funds in paying doctors' bills and they are left with no money to pay the rent for the present house. And there was also nobody to help them with the loan. Hence the family was in utter emotional despair. And Tessa's parents lost their hope and they gave up all their efforts. When Tess heard her daddy say to her tearful mother, "Only a miracle can save him now," she went to her room and pulled out a jar of coins from the cupboard. She poured all the money out on the floor and counted it carefully. Holding the jar tightly, she made her way to the medical store and placed it on the glass table. When the little Tess sees her parents worrying for her little brother Andrew's health, and when she hears her father say that only a miracle would save her little brother, she thought that miracle is a thing, or she thought that miracle is a medicine which would be available in the medical store. After listening to her parents' conversation, little Tess immediately rushes to her room. She takes out the jar of coins. She empties all the coins on the floor and then counts them carefully. After the counting is done, she pours the coins back in the jar and she rushes to the medical store. And she empties all the coins on the store's glass table. "What do you want?" asked the chemist. "It's for my little brother," Tess answered. "He is really sick and I wanted to buy a miracle." When she empties the jar of coins on the medical store's table, the chemist asks her what did she want. The little girl replies saying that she came there for her little brother as she wants to buy miracle. "We don't sell miracles here, child. I'm sorry," the chemist said, smiling sadly at the little girl. "Listen, I have the money to pay for it. If it isn't enough, I can try and get some more. Just tell me how much it costs." The chemist feels sorry for the little girl as she seemed very much worried for her little brother's health. But the chemist says the girl that they do not sell miracle in the medical store. But the girl would not leave. She insists upon arranging for a little more money if the money available was not enough. At the shop there was a well-dressed customer. He bent down and asked the little girl, "What kind of a miracle does your brother need?" "I don't know," she replied with her eyes welling up. He is really sick and mummy says he needs an operation. But my daddy can't pay for it, so I have brought my savings. So the little girl encounters a well-dressed man at the medical store. The man bends towards the little girl and asks her what sort of miracle she wanted. The girl replies saying that she doesn't know. All she knows is her brother is extremely ill and he is in immediate need of operation, and that her father cannot afford for an operation. That's the reason why she has brought all her savings in order to buy the miracle. Then the man asks, "How much do you have?" $1.11, but I can try and get some more, she answered, barely audible. When the man asks her how much did she have, the little girl replies saying that she has $1.11. She also says that she could arrange some more money if that was not sufficient. "Wonderful," smiled the man, $1.11, the exact price of a miracle for your little brother. He took her money in one hand and held her hand with the other. He said, "Take me to your home. I want to see your brother and meet your parents. Let's see if I have the kind of miracle he needs." So the man is impressed by the little Tess's answer. He says, "Wonderful," and he says that $1.11 is the exact price he would need, and he says that he might have the miracle that her little brother Andrew needs. He asks the girl to take him to her house. That well-dressed man was Dr. Carlton Armstrong, a famous neurosurgeon. He had Andrew admitted to a hospital where he operated on him without any charges. Within a few weeks, Andrew was back at home and doing well. The well-dressed man was none other than Dr. Carlton Armstrong, a famous neurosurgeon. Well, a neurosurgeon refers to a doctor who performs operations on the nervous system, particularly the brain. The doctor was kind enough to admit Andrew in a hospital, and he operates upon Andrew without charging anything from the family. Within few weeks, Andrew gets back home and he is back to health. That surgery, her mom whispered, was a real miracle. I wonder how much it would have cost. Tess's mother says the surgery was a real miracle, and she also says that she would only wonder how much would it have cost. Well, because of the fact that the family was poor, they could only wonder the price of the surgery, but they could not really afford for it. Tess smiled. She knew exactly how much the miracle cost, $1.11, plus the love of a little child. But the little Tess has an answer. She knew how much was the cost of the miracle. According to Tess, the miracle's cost was $1.11, and also her love towards little Andrew. So this was the story of the little brave Tess who wins the heart of the doctor and makes her brother's treatment possible. Well, what do we learn from the story? The major themes of the story are poverty, confidence, honesty, love. We see that the little Tess was confident enough with $1.11. She knew that she would be able to buy a miracle. Even the family, even her parents were in utter emotional despair, but the little girl did not lose confidence. She was sure that she would buy a miracle at any cost. The little girl Tess's character teaches us how to not lose hope during the times of emotional despair. We also learn that the little Tess was so innocent that she had no idea of the word miracle. All she thought was miracle was a medicine and would probably be available in the medical store. We also learn selflessness from the character of Tess. The moment she heard her parents' conversation, she immediately rushes to her room and without a second thought, without thinking of herself, she takes out all her savings and thinks of spending them all in order to buy a miracle for her little brother. The major theme of the story is love. We learn that love can win the hearts. Love is way too powerful than money. Love wins when the money fails. The little girl was able to win the heart of a doctor with her honesty and immense love for her brother. It was her love which won at last. It was not the money. It was not $1.11. It was her immense love towards her little brother Andrew. She was confident, honest, and also selfless. And this was how her selflessness was rewarded by Dr. Carlston Armstrong, who operated upon little Andrew without charging anything. It was the reward given to Tess's selflessness. I hope you enjoyed listening to the story. We shall meet in the next video with some other topic. Until then, goodbye, take care.